Hello, happy Monday. So today I'm going to be reading the story Hoot and Peep. This is such a sweet story about a little brother and sister owl and what they can learn from each other. And then at the end, I'm going to show you a poster and kind of talk about what the little seesaw activity that goes along with this is. So this story is called Hoot and Peep, and we're going to read through this story together. Peep was finally old enough to join her big brother Hoot on the rooftops. It's the perfect night to teach Peeps all my owly wisdom, thought Hoot. Oh, so wisdom, that's kind of like knowledge, like things that Hoot, the older brother, knows. He's going to teach Peep all about it. I wonder what he's going to teach her. Peep thought it was the perfect night to sing about the magic of the moonbeams. Sweep, she peeped. Sweep. When I think about the noises that owls make, I don't really think of the sound sweep. What sound do you think of when you think of the sound an owl makes? No. It goes like this, Peeps. First, we are owls. We say who. Oh, that's the noise I thought of. Second, we always say who. Lastly, we only say who. There, he was done imparting all his owly wisdom. So what Hoot is teaching is that owls only say who. Do you think that Peeps is now going to only say who? Or do you think she's going to keep saying different sounds? Sweepity peep. Hoot looks pretty surprised. She didn't listen to his owly wisdom. Listen to me, Peeps. I'm older. I know more. We owls simply say who. Bong? Who? Sweepity peep cuckoo. Ding dong bong. Who looks pretty upset? Who? Who means hello, goodbye, good morning, and good night. Who is the only way to say everything. Hoot forgot. Owls never shout. Peep had nothing to say and just flew away. Looks like Hoot feels pretty bad. And I think Peep is probably upset because her brother yelled at her. The problem with Peep, Hoot thought, is she won't listen to my owly wisdom. Do you think that she should listen to his owly wisdom? The problem with Hoot, thought Peep, is he doesn't believe in singing about the mystery of things. Or do you think that maybe Hoot should listen to what Peep has to say? Peep believed in whispering to an ancient wind, sweep dingity dong, sweep dingity dong. So real quick, I'm noticing that throughout this whole book, it's nighttime. That's the setting. They're outside, like maybe in a city or something, but it's all set in nighttime. I think that's because the author wants us to kind of understand that owls come out at nighttime. They're nocturnal. And singing with the slip-slap of waves against stone, slippity-slap, slippity-slap. So it sounds like Peep is different than normal owls. She believes in singing about the world. Hoot knew he was right, that is, until he started missing Peep's songs. Without Peep to listen, there didn't seem to be a point in saying who anymore. So Hoot is starting to feel lonely. Dingity dong, slippity slap, slippity slap. Then Hoot heard Peep's sweet voice drifting on the wind. The sound was like magic. Sweepity ding, sweepity dong. Hoot realized he had made a big mistake. Little sisters have their own owly wisdom. Oh, so Hoot isn't the only one who has wisdom. Peep does too. Can you teach me your song, Peeps? Dingity dong. Soon the night wind rang with songs of joy and love and magic things. Slippity slap, sweepity coo. Hoot and Peep sang together, but each in their very own owly way. Dingity dong bong. And that, they thought, was why it was a perfect night. The end. So, in this book, Hoot and Peep are brother and sister, and Hoot wants to pass on his wisdom to Peep of owls. His wisdom is that owls only say who, but Peep is just a different kind of owl, and she wants to sing about the world, and the world makes more sound than just, more than one sound, more than just the sound who. It makes lots of different sounds, and so Peep wants to kind of show that in her songs. And so Hoot ends up learning that he can get wisdom from Peep, just like he can give wisdom to Peep. It's kind of, they're both giving wisdom. So that's kind of what this story was about here, just a little recap. So as you're thinking about what happened in this story, I also want you to think about a connection. We've talked a lot about connections, but we're going to make a specific kind of connection today. We're going to make a text to world connection. So text to world means that you take something that happened in the text, something that anything you can think of, and I want you to connect it to something that kind of happened in the world. So a text to world connection means that it reminds me of real events in the world, past or present. So an example of a connection text to world is you can think about things that are happening in the world. It could be, in the whole entire world, or it could just be like in the area that you live in, something that is happening in the world. So right now, I'm going to make a connection to something that's happening in the world. So right now, sadly, we are having to do school this way, through the computer. And so back maybe like a year ago, before all of the craziness happened, I would have thought that it would have been really hard. It would have been really hard and almost impossible to do school through the computer like this. I would not have wanted to do that. And even though it's not the best way, I think, to do school, it's not the way that I want to, it's still happening. We're still learning. And so just like how Hoot learned that there's more than one noise that an owl can make, I've learned in the past, and I think the world has learned, that there's more than one way to have school. Even though this way isn't my favorite way, I would much rather be in the classroom with you guys. It is a way that we can do school because you're still learning. So that's an example of a text to world connection. So you can take a minute and talk with your parents or whoever you are, or just think about it to yourself. What's a text to world connection that you can make from the book Hoot and Peep? So after you've talked about your text to world connection, get on Seesaw, and I've assigned you just a quick activity to do with Hoot and Peep. This is just the only one we're going to do for Hoot and Peep this week. I'll do another read aloud later that you can read and have a different activity with. Here is the same chart that I just showed you, and what I want you to do is think about what can the world learn from Hoot and Peep. Think about your text to world connection and think about what the world can learn. So here you're going to use this template to kind of answer it. It says Hoot and Peep could teach the world what? And you can either write it or you can type it in. So if it were me, because I talked about how there's more than one way to learn and do things, I could say that Hoot and Peep could teach the world that there is more than one way of doing things. There's more than one way of learning and teaching. That's what I would type. So that's what you're going to do as a Seesaw activity. Now, remember, it's not required. You don't have to do it, but it's just a little bit something extra that you can do. Can't wait to see what you guys say. Hope you have a great Monday.